Good afternoon. Welcome to the City Club of Cleveland. I'm Len Calabrese, a former president of the City Club Board of Trustees. Since 1912, the City Club of Cleveland has been dedicated to freedom of expression and to providing a podium from which we can work to build more common ground for the common good. And I think our program today particularly exemplifies that tradition of the City Club, which we value so much. Our program today, American Sikhs Towards a More Perfect Union. Gives me great pleasure at this time to call upon my friend and fellow City Club member, our moderator, Paramjit Singh.
Welcome all. And again, the Sikh community, on behalf of the Sikh community, thanks City Club for giving us this podium to share with you about American Sikhs. Many may not be aware, we have been in this country since the late 19th century, happened to be on the West Coast. It took me quite a while to get to Cleveland by walking. So I came here in 1962. And you might be aware, e pluribus unum, many to one, can only occur if we have gatherings like this to know one another. I'm very thankful to Dr. I.J. Singh, who's been here 50 years, to come from New York. That's one end of the spectrum. That's the first generation. We have Jasjit Singh coming from SALDAF, which is an organization that was formulated in 1996, again with the purpose of educating our American friends about who the Sikhs are. And of course, I've been here since 1962. I came to Cleveland and just got stuck because I love it. So, without taking more of your time, I would like for Dr. I.J. Singh, who is a professor at New York University and has written 4 books after coming here, focused on American Sikhs. And he's brought some books here. He'll be happy to autograph them if you would like to buy one. I think it is very useful for within the Sikh community and others for our younger generation to learn more about the Sikh faith. So I would also, at this point, request everyone for a moment of silence for Ravinder Nijjar, who was shot very recently in our Gurdwara. May his soul rest in peace and provide courage to the family to bear the loss. Dr. I.J. Singh, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It is an honor, I would say, privilege and indeed an honor to be here at this historic City Club, talking to you about Sikhs in America. I know the history, a bit of the history of this club. Some I picked up a few minutes earlier. You know, I of course also realize that many of our neighbors also, for them this period, this part of the year, this month is important. We had Passover not so long ago, Easter for our Christian neighbors. And for us Sikhs today, April 14th, marks the day when the Sikh message achieved its final form. So that's historic for us as well. I come to you as an American and as a Sikh. So today what I want to talk to you about is how these two rather weighty ideas come together in this new world. And when I thought about how do I get a handle on this topic that's been assigned to me, and then I saw that, you know, we are all of us, at one time or another, or in one form or another, just off the boat. Many of you perhaps have people who came here 200 years ago. My people, Sikhs, came here about 100 years ago. I came here 50 years ago, and that's my definition of all being just off the boat, in historical terms. And then I thought of the motto, E pluribus unum, that Paramjit referred to in a moment, and that defines us as a nation. The conversation today is about the ideas inherent in that motto. It's also about Sikhs in America. Now, in contemporary American society, in many ways, Sikhs are the new kids on the block. Yes, we've been here 100 years, that's true. But that's a substantial portion of American history. Yet we have a very checkered and relatively unknown presence in that century. But there were Sikhs who worked on the Panama Canal when it was built in 1903, 1904. They were not all in California. The West was not opened by the likes of John Wayne alone. No. There were Chinese, Italian, Indian, Sikh labor that had a hand in it. A pioneer Sikh served in the US Army in 1918 at the tail end of the First World War. But then at that time there were discriminatory laws in place in this country. The right to citizenship formally came to us only in 1946. Immigration laws were eased in Lyndon Johnson's time. And you know, he left the White House in '68. Sikh numbers in this country were relatively small until the 70s. Now there are less than a million, but a substantial number. When I came here in 1960, there were 3 Sikhs in New York, and I went to school in Oregon, where I was the only one for a number of years. But from the day I landed in America, almost half a century ago, the American dream has been my preoccupation, as it is for all immigrants, no matter where they are from. I've heard the American dream proclaimed from all kinds of pulpits, political, religious, popular, print and television. But after having been here a while, I began to wonder, what do we mean when we talk about being and becoming an American? The first flood of immigrants that came here, about 18 million, between 1890 and 1920, and Israel Zangwill celebrated them in the Broadway play, The Melting Pot. And that expression entered our lexicon, our national dialogue. It became our motto, the melting pot. But in a melting pot, the units blend irretrievably into each other. The individual identity of each item is lost. And that reminds me of a hostile takeover, somewhat, not quite a model of cooperative interaction. Is this how America is? I think not. It is the land where each wave of immigrants has added inestimable value to society. The creativity, vitality, and energy of this culture come from its immigrant roots. A melting pot in which immigrants no longer contribute the strength and traits that they came with would leave the larger society poorer. Some observers now look at a tossed salad to capture the complexity of our contemporary social reality. Yes, the individual ingredients remain recognizable, each adds to the richness of the salad, but sometimes the salad gets tossed a tad too vigorously to the detriment of the ingredients.